Magna Graecia is the name of the coastal areas of southern Italy on the Tarentine Gulf that were extensively populated by Greek settlers, particularly the Achaean settlements of Croton and Sybaris, and to the north, the settlements of Cumae and Neapolis. The settlers who began arriving in the 8th century BC brought with them their Hellenic civilization, which was to leave a lasting imprint in Italy, such as in the culture of ancient Rome, in which the Roman poet Ovid in his poem Fasta referred to the south of Italy as the land of Greater Greece. History. Antiquity in the 8th and 7th centuries BC, for various reasons, including demographic crises, the search for new commercial outlets and ports, and expulsion from their homeland, Greeks began to settle in southern Italy. Also during this period, Greek colonies were established in places as widely separated as the eastern coast of the Black Sea, eastern Libya and Massalia. They included settlements in Sicily and the southern part of the Italian peninsula. The Romans called the area of Sicily and the foot of Italy Magna Graecia, since it was so densely inhabited by the Greeks. The ancient geographers differed on whether the term included Sicily or merely Apulia and Calabria, Strabo being the most prominent advocate of the wider definitions. With this colonization, Greek culture was exported to Italy, in its dialects of the ancient Greek language, its religious rites and its traditions of the independent polis. An original Hellenic civilization soon developed, later interacting with the native Italic civilizations. The most important cultural transplant was the Chalchidaean, Cumaean variety of the Greek alphabet, which was adopted by the Etruscans. The Old Italic alphabet subsequently evolved into the Latin alphabet, which became the most widely used alphabet in the world. Many of the new Hellenic cities became very rich and powerful, like Neapolis, Syracuse, Acragas and Sybaris. Other cities in Magna Graecia included Tarentum, Epizephirion Locra, Rhegium, Croton, Thurii, Ella, Nola, Ancona, Ciessa, Bari, and others. Following the Pyrrhic War in the 3rd century BC, Magna Graecia was absorbed into the Roman Republic. Greek temples of Paestum, Campania, mosaic from Caulonia, Calabria, Temple of Hera in Metaponta, Basilicata, the Temple of Concordia, Acragas, Sicily, Milo of Croton, Archimedes of Syracuse, Archites of Tarentum. 5th century BC Greek coins of Tarentum. The Middle Ages. During the early Middle Ages, following the disastrous Gothic War, new waves of Byzantine Christian Greeks came to southern Italy from Greece and Asia Minor. As southern Italy remained loosely governed by the Eastern Roman Empire, the iconoclast Emperor Leo III appropriated lands that had been granted to the papacy in southern Italy, and the Eastern Emperor loosely governed the area until the advent of the Lombards, then in the form of the Catapanate of Italy, superseded by the Normans. A remarkable example of this influence is the Greco-speaking minority which still exists today in the Italian regions of Calabria and Apulia. Greco is the name of a language combining ancient Doric, Byzantine Greek, and Italian elements, spoken by few people in some villages in the province of Reggio Calabria and Salento. There is a rich oral tradition in Greco folklore, limited now, though once numerous, to around 30,000 people, most of them having become absorbed into the surrounding Italian element. Some believe that the origins of the Greco language may ultimately be traced to the colonies of Magna Graecia. Modern Italy. Although most of the Greek inhabitants of southern Italy were entirely Italianized during the Middle Ages, pockets of Greek culture and language remained and survived into modernity. This is because of continuous migration between southern Italy and the Greek mainland. One example are the Greco people who still maintain their Greek language and customs. For example, Greeks re-entered the region in the 16th and 17th century in reaction to the conquest of the Peloponnese by the Ottoman Empire. Especially after the end of the Siege of Corinth, large numbers of Greeks took refuge in the areas of Calabria, Salento, and Sicily. Greeks from Coroni, the so-called Coronians, were nobles that brought with them substantial movable property. They were granted special privileges and tax exemptions. Other Greeks who moved to Italy came from the Mani Peninsula of the Peloponnese. The Maniots were known for their proud military traditions and for their bloody vendettas. Another portion of these Greeks moved to Corsica, cf. the Corsican vendettas.